Hey, this is Crow's Crapology coming to you from our offices in Knoxville, Tennessee. Watch us on YouTube on Crow's Crapology 2 on YouTube. Go to Crow's Crapology on Facebook and go to crowscrapology.com, our website. Today we're going to talk to you about the NFL, in particular NFL coaches, head coaches, that is. So 8 teams have changed head coaches this year. They've all hired their head coaches. We're going to tell you about who's been hired and what we think of this. I think these owners in the NFL fire coaches too soon. I think the owners push it. If the general managers are doing it, then they don't know what they're doing either. But I mean, Dan Campbell, look at him, Detroit Lions. They stuck it out with him. They should have beat the 49ers last week, gone to the Super Bowl, and they didn't. Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has a tradition of not firing head coaches. He's won 2 Super Bowls, I think, or 1 Super Bowl with Ben Roethlisberger. Cowher won the other one. But they gotta keep these head coaches a little longer. Have some patience. I mean, these people, we gotta win now. This year, next year, we gotta win the Super Bowl. It's like it's a bunch of crap. It's hard to win the Super Bowl. It's really freaking hard to win the Super Bowl. Even though Andy Reid makes it look easy, and Bill Belichick made it look easy, it's pretty difficult to win the Super Bowl. All right, anyway. So we're going to start with Seattle. They convinced Pete Carroll that he needed to retire. I think they're still going to pay him, use him as a consultant or something. They're going to give him something to do in the organization, but he's not had to be the head coach. They replaced him with Michael McDonald, former defensive coordinator, I believe, for the Baltimore Ravens. They also brought in Leslie Frazier, who was former head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, been a defensive coordinator all his life. So they got 2 guys with defensive backgrounds running their team. So Leslie Frazier is the assistant head coach. So I don't know how that's going to work. The NFL is an offensive league. I like Mike McDonald. I don't like Leslie Frazier that much. I think Seattle's going to have problems, especially with Geno Smith. Geno Smith needs an offensive coach, unless they're going to draft a quarterback or sign a free agent quarterback or something. But they can't go on with Geno Smith. He's just not good. They need to do something there. All right, the Raiders, the greatness of the Raiders. Mark Davis has signed Antonio Pierce to be the head coach, which is a good move. They should keep him. Players love him. He's a former NFL player. He's a former Super Bowl champion. I believe they're keeping the former quarterback coach as the offensive coordinator, which they should, because Aiden O'Connell did very well under him, and he needs some stability. He needs the same coaching staff, and he'll get better next year, and they'll probably make the playoffs. The Raiders, the LA Chargers, who were just horrific this year. They were terrible. And they have a great quarterback in Justin Herbert. They brought in Jim Harbaugh, the Michigan National Championship coach. That should right this team pretty quickly. He should bring in some good staff members. And the Chargers should be back in the playoffs with Harbaugh at the controls. Tennessee Titans, bizarre coaching hire here. They get rid of Mike Vrabel, and they bring in Brian Callahan. Is this any better? He's the Bengals offensive coordinator. He did okay with Joe Burrow. You know, he didn't get the Bengals offense or scoring. But Brian Callahan's father, Bill Callahan, is one of the worst football coaches ever. Not just NFL, but college. He destroyed every team almost he touched. He kept the Jets down. He destroyed Nebraska, a national power. He destroyed them in like 2 years. He destroyed the Raiders. Raiders got the Super Bowl against Tampa Bay against John Gruden, and John Gruden laughed at him, basically. And Tampa Bay beat the crap out of him. This is his son, Brian Callahan. I don't know. I would be very worried about hiring someone his son. Anyway, the Carolina Panthers, they hired Jim Canales, former offensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Strange hire. I don't know the guy. Bucks offense was pretty good under Baker Mayfield. It was all right. I don't see that this guy is going to do anything for the Panthers. Bryce Young, they got bad draft choice. They got to do something at quarterback. He's terrible. He's 170 pounds. He's going to get killed. I don't know. The Washington Commanders, congressmen, senators, whatever they are, Redskins, they hired Dan Quinn, longtime NFL coach. He was the head coach of the Falcons. Got him to a Super Bowl, which they lost, I think, against Ben Roethlisberger. Veteran coach, he might be all right. Defensive-minded guy. That's probably a good choice. Dan Quinn was going to be a head coach, I'm sure. Again, the Patriots hired Gerard Mayo, which we all said was coming. He was in the Patriot family, so Robert Kraft can get him to do what he wants him to do, and he'll listen to him. Good linebacker coach, for the Patriots for years. Good player, good linebacker, played at the University of Tennessee, played for the Patriots. Former player, that might work. Maybe the players like him, but the Patriots need some personnel changes. They got a lot of work to do on the personnel side, and he's going to have a rough going, I think, there. The Atlanta Falcons, well, they made a bizarre hire, which goes along with the Falcons because they're pretty bizarre, because Arthur Blank is one of the worst owners in the history of sports. He's just one of the biggest jerks I've seen out there. This guy comes down to the sidelines in the fourth quarter and wants to talk to the head coach of the Falcons while they're trying to play a game, and they're trying to have a game-winning drive or something. The guy's a complete idiot. Home Depot started Home Depot. That's what Arthur Blank got his money from. But anyway, the Falcons made another horrible hire. They hired Raheem Morris, the defense coordinator for the Rams. He was a head coach before in Tampa Bay. Didn't do very well. I don't see him. He's a career coordinator. He's not made out to be a leader, a head coach, to run a franchise, to be the face of a franchise. Terrible choice, but the Falcons usually do that. And then when they do get a good coach, like they had Mike Smith like 15 years ago, Arthur Blank usually runs them out of town. So they're destined to be a mess, the Falcons. So out of all these head coaching hires, I think the Raiders made a great choice with Antonio Pierce. Chargers made a good choice with Harbaugh. And the Commandos made a good choice with Dan Quinn. The rest of them, the other five, who knows? I can't see hiring these people. I know Michael McDonald's going to get hired eventually, but why bring in Leslie Frazier, another defensive guy? Defense. They're making the rules in the NFL so defense doesn't really matter anymore. It's a scoring league. That's why you have the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes winning Super Bowls. Anyway, so my take on it. Crow for crowscrapology.com. Go to Crowscrapology 2 on YouTube. Go to Crowscrapology on Facebook. Go to crowscrapology.com, our website. I still say most of the general managers in the NFL are idiots, and we could pull some people off the street, some sports fans, and do better jobs on player personnel at least and coaching decisions than this crap. I don't know. They don't have a clue. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm out.